Hey peoples, this is another movie review of the movie Tell Me Who I Am. As always, I want to say thank you for listening, that really means a lot to me, and on to the review. So Tell Me Who I Am is a documentary on Netflix, and it's about a guy named Alex. Alex is telling us a story about when he was 18 and he got into a motorcycle accident. Alex wakes up in the hospital and he recognizes his twin brother Marcus, and that's all. He doesn't recognize his mother at all, and he doesn't remember anything else. So Alex has to relearn everything about his life with the help of his twin brother Marcus. And while learning, Alex has some questions that don't necessarily get answered, and then later on he finds out about darker things within his past that he did not know. But that's our movie. This movie was fascinating. And it was fascinating because movies like this, where someone's reality is broken, is always interesting to me. And it reminded me of the movie Room. Not The Room, but Room with Brie Larson, where she and her son are captives in a room, and all that kid knows is that room. His mind is only that room, and he cannot think of anything outside of that room. Now, when he gets outside of the room, he has to cope with the world and find out how things work, how to interact with certain things, how to interact with certain people. It's very interesting. Great movie, go watch that. But this movie reminded me of that as well, because Alex is a blank slate other than understanding who his brother Marcus is. He doesn't understand the dynamic between his father and how distant he is, his mother and the things that go on with her, their family and the parties they have, why their brothers live how they live, and why their parents act how they act. He has to understand all of that. He's watching TV and seeing families on TV act a certain way, and he's thinking that is normal, but then seeing his own family and how they act, and he's like, no, this must be normal. And all he does daily is ask his brother about certain things like, how do you do this? What is this? Is our family this way? Did we go on vacations? How is our mom? How is our dad? Why do we do this with our dad? Why does he act like this? And it's just constant questions after questions, and Marcus fills in those gaps. And the storytelling and the directing work beautifully together in this movie, because Alex is telling us different questions that he had and Marcus would fill them in, and the visuals on screen would show an image that Marcus is describing, and Alex would fill in the blanks himself, thinking, okay, this must be how things went. But the image on screen is very blurry because, of course, he doesn't have a clear memory of what happened, so they're showing us that he's filling in the blanks with these blurry images in his head. Now this movie becomes somewhat of a mystery because Alex finds out that he's not being told the whole truth about his family. And so he continues to ask Marcus certain things, but Marcus won't give him all of the answers because Marcus is trying to protect him from this past. And the movie eventually reveals what that is, and it's very emotional, it's very dark, and it really hits you as you watch the film. You really feel the emotion from these two men as they tell you the story of their childhood. Now I really had to nitpick to find negatives in this movie, but when I say they're nitpicks, they are really nitpicks that don't affect my overall feeling for the film. But there are a few. So as a viewer, you're watching Alex and listening to him tell us stories. Now after he gives us a section of information, the movie kind of breaks to give you a break because it is a lot to take in at times, and it breaks to like an image and it's pretty silent and you're just supposed to take it in, and the image usually connects to what he just spoke about. But those images, I feel, last a couple beats too long, and it makes the movie feel slower than it has to be. I understand what they're doing because you do need that break in order to process what you just heard, but I just think they lasted a little bit too long. There is a moment where Alex starts to question his memory, and they show old footage and they kind of make it glitchy, like, oh, maybe this isn't true, maybe this was true, you're not sure. The glitchy portion seemed kind of gimmicky. I didn't like that part. And also, even though I did say that I liked the directing, there are some wide shots that show the camera and lighting equipment in the background. They do it to get a different angle of the subject, and it helps with the emotional beats. But I just personally, this is my personal thing, I don't like seeing camera equipment in a shot. Even if it is a documentary, it just bothers me. I don't want to see camera equipment, I don't want to see lighting equipment. It takes me out of the film. Even though I know it's a documentary, it just messes with me. I can't explain it. And lastly, the movie is broken up into acts, I believe 3 acts. I don't want to say this is a negative, I just don't know how I feel about it being split up like that. They split it up between storytellers and points of views, which I do like. I just don't know how I feel about the 3-act situation. But those are all my nitpicks, and they are really nitpicks because it doesn't affect the movie overall. The only thing I really wish for is that we got more information, because we do see Alex dive into his history. The stuff we do get is very interesting. I just would have liked to even dive deeper into their history and deeper into their family, because this movie was very engaging. So obviously I do suggest watching this. This is a great movie, but an emotional one, so prepare yourself for that. But that's all, peoples. As always, thank you for listening. Please like, thumbs up, subscribe, retweet, comment, follow, all those things. I really appreciate it. Please continue to have a great day. God bless. I'll talk to you tomorrow.